doctor.
I got a job at Cavalier School in St. Andrew. And while I was at Cavalier School, the government offered teachers who did not have a full college training to go to Moneague and remain there for a year. That was, they said, you're rubbing off the pre-trained or untrained from your name. And that time I had passed third year training college exam. And I did 1 year in Moneague, 1959, and graduated 1960. When I did the exam, the final exam in Moneague, I was among 3 or 4 students who were successful in getting through the exam in the honors division, and I really excelled in practice teaching, because in those days you had about 5 or 6 invigilators who sat down and looked at you while you were teaching. And Dr. Aubrey Phillips was the principal of Moneague Training College, and with him came one Miss Doyle, and I don't remember the others who sat down there while you did the teaching. And I was successful in getting through the exam, leaving Moneague as a student passing in the honors division. At 1961, New Day Oral School was a new school in St. Andrew, just above where the Honorable Norman Washington Manley lived, because his house was just about a few trains down from the school, and the land on which the school was built belonged to him. So that school is called New Day Oral School off Barbican Road. 6 of us teachers were the foundation members of staff at that school. The principal was Mr. McBean. He hailed from Petersfield in Westmoreland. His wife was a second teacher. Then you had Muriel Boyne, that her husband was an education officer. And that was Cicely Elliott and myself. I think I've covered the 6. Now, of the 6 foundation members of staff of the New Day School, I am the only surviving member on this land, and we give praise to God because He has been very good. For 20 years and 6 months, and I retired from the government service in 1981, August. After retiring, I wasn't a cripple. I was able to work. And so I got the first job after retirement at Dunrobin Prep School. It was managed by Albert Karam. I did 10 years at that school and taught the common entrance class. And I remember vividly, there was a parent with a son who was going to Dunrobin Primary, and the teachers refused to accept him in their class and said he was a troublesome boy. I think his name was Como. And so they came up to Dunrobin Prep and asked the principal, Miss O'Brien, if she would take him there. And she looked around. I said, send him. We will work on him. And he had his little tricks, but however, I was teaching the common entrance class, and Coma passed and was sent to, I think, Calabar. And his mother was so very happy about it. I want to tell you that she gave me a present, I think, of $20 because she said everybody had turned their backs on her son. And I tell you something, not that I am such a very skillful maths teacher, but she was afraid of maths. And then a principal from St. Andrew technical. She had a son. And he said, maths is an ogre. I said, no, man. You think of maths as just any other subject. And do you know that young man came to Don Robin Prep, and one sitting, he got through the common entrance, getting credit in maths, and I don't know where he is now, but I'm saying that to say that if you have your mind set on helping children to forge the gap, and God is directing your life, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. They take care of me. Everybody around this community. In Kingston, young people from New Day School, I'm telling you the name, they call me Mother Wells. Since I'm down here, there's one, Claudette Howell. Then there is Eugenie. Her husband, she's coming back to live in Santa Cruz. Her husband is Desmond. Then there is Terry Wilson in New York. Evelyn Godden in New Jersey. Brother, those people, they call me so often. And when I say, tell me something, why you people call me Mother Wells? One looked at me and said, look here, when I didn't have any lunch money, you found lunch money for me. When I couldn't buy the books, you had a tuck shop running and you credited me the books until I could pay for them. I don't remember, but they remember. And Claudette Howell, every time it's my birthday, she sends me birthday presents and all like that. Claudette is a retired person living in Brooklyn, New York. Up to yesterday, she spoke with me. They don't leave me. Let me tell you something. It's not anything I have done. It's what God has done through me. Then, where I worked last, Kingsgate Prep School, Mrs. Lorraine Laird was the principal. She's now the director. She has a daughter. She's a radiologist. About 15 or 17 years ago, on a Sunday, she was driving, I believe, to go to church. And another driver driving, she was from Barbados. Maybe she wasn't acquainted with the road, and she crashed into her car. And because of that accident, Dr. Celia Laird has given up her practice as a radiologist. But any time she feels that a pain is coming, my phone is ding-ding-ding when I pick it up. Mrs. Wells, Dr. Laird here. Can you pray for me? I said, what's happening? The pain is on her. Her mother is the same thing. When things are distressing her, she calls me to pray for her. I don't say I'm a prayer warrior, but God hears every sincere prayer. And with the 20 years I worked with them at Kingsgate Prep School, I am down in their list as one of their favorite teachers. And even now, Mrs. Laird is at home. She is suffering from arthritis, and Dr. Celia Laird is there, the one who had the accident for over 17 years. She's able to cook the meal for herself and her mother. And I say, God be praised. So nothing is happening that I'm not aware of where those people are concerned. And anywhere you are, whatever field you're called to work in, do it not to praise Him, but to give the praise, the honor, and the glory to our Creator. Because He says, inasmuch as you have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, you have done it unto me. May God help us to do His bidding, forget self, and remember we have a God who is making record of what we do so long as self is crucified.
listening as she tells us about her life. She takes pride in the fact that she has had a hand in steering youngsters in becoming assets to the nation. The Leo children is one such success story.
Mr. Leo, come here. Come here, sir. We used to live as neighbors on Trust Avenue. His first son took the common entrance at Alpha, and he never succeeded. I never used to talk to them much, but being a teacher, I would like to see everybody succeed. And his first son never got through the exam. I said, all right, I said to his wife, will you allow him to come over to my house and join those that I'm helping with the common entrance? And I suppose he put in his word and agreed. And that young man came with, I think, about 4 others. And we worked, and he got through and went to George's. And eventually his mother migrated to America, and he went. He has now finished his degree long ago, because his father told him. How old is Gary, Kingsley?
59.
59. And he is working in, I don't remember where he is working in America, but he's a successful son. Then his second child, Sharon, came to me also. She passed the common entrance. I think she went to Holy Childhood, I don't know what, remember, but I think she is a chiropodist. Then the third child, Simone, she also came to me, passed the common entrance one sitting. She went to America too. She is an ophthalmologist. His fourth child who came to me, I was at Kingsgate Prep School. She went to Kingsgate Prep School, came down here also for extra lessons. And she also is in America. She has her degree. I don't know what she's doing, but I know she has her degree. Then the last one, Kyle, who gave him concern, and he was always saying, you're not going to take the exam because you can't pass it. As I insisted, and he passed it. He also migrated to America, and I think he's going into some university soon. So he tells everybody that his children are my children. Mothers who are right here and parents, don't give up on your children. Sometimes you are making it too difficult for them. Don't call them dunce. Don't cast them down. Just say, God will help you. And if the teachers don't commit themselves to the Lord, they can't make the grade. He is the teacher. The teachers are just instruments through whom he works. And if the children follow the teacher and cooperate with them, sure enough, they will make the grade. God has not let down on any one of us. Don't you say your children are no goods. God has a plan for every one of them.
Yes.
I think it's worthwhile
Yes.
noting.
Yes.
Sister Wells said earlier that her family, her loved ones would not allow her to do certain things.
Yes.
But from the spiritual side, she's still a frontline worker. Even in this pandemic, she's a prayer warrior. She continued to pray, up not just church members, but her neighbors or friends, and those with whom she desired to see come to the Lord.
The goodness of God. So tell me about the church life. When did you become involved in the Adventist church? How far back, and what led you to Adventism?
When I came from Kingston to live down here, my mother was a member of Gospel Assembly, but we had some people here, Wellingtons, Jocelyn Wellington, Joel Wellington, Wilfred Wellington. Those were the main ones about the district, and they would visit homes. And I believe they were the persons who influenced my mother to become a Seventh-day Adventist. I attended the church with her, but not that I was a full member of the church. So I became a full Seventh-day Adventist when I worshipped at North Street Church and I was baptized in 1983, I think. And I am still a member of the Advent family, still a believer in the power of God's word, and still believe that God created this world 6 literal days, rested, made man on the 6th day, gave him authority over everything, and he has made his covenant agreement with us. If we are willing and obedient, we will eat the good of the land. So I am still not an Anglican, Seventh-day Adventist, one of the remnant members of God's church, looking forward for his imminent return. Society, I put every one of them. Peer, oh brother, love those things. And Sister Yuda's daughter, sometimes when the package come out, lettuce and everything, I'm not expecting it, but that's how they treat me. They care for me like their own. I have another friend, Mr. Kingsley Leo. Sometimes I hear, Ruby, what's happening? And I say, what do you want now? And if he says, I'm coming down, and you don't ask me every little thing that he believes I need, he is taking down for me. He is like my son, and he says I am his children's mother.
And has been a mother figure to many, but has no children of her own.
I have an adopted daughter. Let me tell you about her. She is in England. Now, I used to do common entrance work at home, apart from school. So there was this lady in the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Amelia White, and she called me one day, and she said to me, Mrs. Wells, I would like you to take somebody and keep her at your home for me. I didn't know anybody connected to this young lady, no member of the family I knew, but Mrs. White took her to me, and she started to live with me. And she went, I helped her with lessons, and she went to Dwenny Park Primary School, came home, I helped her with lessons in the afternoon. She took they said overage scholarship at that time, and she took it, and she got through for Holy Childhood School. She was like my own. My husband's daughter lived there, and another miss that I taught at New Day, she came to live with me, where she's on her own somewhere else. But Marine, I didn't know what plans the Lord had. Marine took the exam. She went to Holy Childhood, and when she graduated, she had been successful in 5 CXC subjects. All right, that time I was teaching at Dunrobin Prep. I said, now look here, they can use you as an assistant teacher. Let me ask. And they took her on, and she taught. But I said, look here, take the college entrance now and see what happened. And she took the entrance for Shortwood Teachers College, and she was successful. She spent 1 year. Her mother was in England. I did not know her mother. I did not know her father then. And she had 2 brothers and a sister. I did not know them until some long time after. However, her mother invited her to England for holidays. So, all right, and she went. When she went to England, she wrote me, she said, Mommy, my mother wants me to do a business marriage to stay in England. And she said, look here, even if you agree, you know, I am not going to do any business marriage to stay there. If I get married, it's for love. I said, look here, I agree with you. Don't do any business marriage. And Maureen stayed in England, and she worked for 10 years. But in the period she was doing schoolwork, she was doing a business course, and she got her degree in business. Then she said to me one day, she said, Mommy, I'm going to do the college, teachers college certificate, you know. I said, all right. She took the exam, she passed it. She was taken on at Greenwich Primary School in London as an internship. She is at that school now 19 years. She is now deputy principal of the Greenwich School in London. And I give God the praise because she is a dedicated Seventh-day Adventist. She doesn't settle for nonsense. She has 2 children. The girl is 19 and she is at university now. Okay. The son is in high school. And all I encourage her to do, I say, remember, repeat to your children the requests of the Lord. Tell them about the love of God when you wake up, when you lie down, when you go out, and when you come in. And they are doing that. They are really trying to do that. She is a teacher, and she is about, let me see, Maureen is about 40 years old now. And I am her mother, and she's my daughter. She is attentive. She doesn't allow a month to pass that she doesn't keep in touch with me. And I give God thanks for her.